So, hi everyone, welcome to another live English lesson with me, teacher Zdenek, and one of my students and Achievers Chamber members. And his name is
Matthius.
Matthius. Nice to have you back. This is your second time ever.
Yeah.
Do you remember what we talked about last time, Matthius?
It was, if I remember correctly, it was something about what was it? I don't even
Uh,
remember at this point.
yeah, that's okay. Your voice. We talked about your
Your
voice.
voice.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, today's lesson is video games. I think is your expertise. Is that right?
One. Yes, one of many.
One of many. Okay.
So.
Yeah. Well, I would like to ask the people that are watching us, do you guys play video games? I do. I love them. I'm a big fan. I've played the video games ever since I was about 12 years old or 13 years old, something along those lines. How about you, Matthius? When did you start playing
Well,
video games?
this is interesting because the first video game that I played was at 2 years old. Well, with my father on his couch while he was playing something like pinball, which was funny to look at in one of the videos that we have, one of many.
Pinball. When you mean pinball as a video game, or it's
Yeah,
that's also like an arcade, isn't it? Like you can
yeah,
play kind of manually,
yeah, but
like
it
a
was a
machine.
video game on a
Mm,
computer. So
okay,
yeah,
cool. Right. So I've got, as usual, I've got several questions here prepared for us, Matthias, and anybody who is watching can, of course, ask their questions as well. Or if you have any ideas yourself, Matthias, feel free to um, tell us. And
all right.
just give me 1 second. Here we go. Here we go. Video games. So the first question is very simple, Matthias. What's your favorite video game, a PC game?
Wow. What's my favorite? Because I have a lot of favorite. Because there are two groups. There is my favorite that I like, and there is my second favorite that I play with my friends so really often.
Mhm. So
So
tell us
the
about both.
yeah. So my favorite one that I played a lot was let me just check because I have a lot of favorites and I need to like pick one. I think the Hollow Knight was one of my favorites, along with Hades, which
Okay.
are two single player games, so you don't play with
A
friends.
Hollow Knight, like this, yeah? Oh no, that's not the right spelling, Zdenek. A Hollow Knight. I'm
Yes,
just struggling to spell it. Okay, here we go. So that's how it's spelled, right? The
yes.
Hollow Knight. Hmm. What kind of game is that?
All right, so it's basically a single player game where you
Mhm.
are this little bug which has a dark secret, and you go around and trying to find what this secret really is.
Okay, don't spoil it for us.
Yes, that's why I'm not spoiling it. But fun fact about this game, it's
Mhm.
that it nearly didn't go out because of bankruptcy for the company that it like published.
Mhm.
And now in a bit they are going to release a new game called
Mhm.
Silsong, which is
Yeah.
basically just continue con, continuum, I think.
Continuation, I think.
Continuation,
Continuation, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
to Hollow Knight. And yep, that's basically it. You just go around. Also about this game, it's a hard, so I wouldn't like suggest it to people that are new to games
Mhm.
because
So
even
so when you say it's hard, so what's the hardest thing about it then?
What's the hardest thing about it is it's the movement because you have to like get used to it,
So,
and
well, what do you use for it? Like your keyboard, your mouse, or what do you need for it?
you actually only use your keyboard or
Okay.
mouse to like select a few options,
Hmm.
and the hard continuing with the hardest thing is that the enemies that you fight, because it's a
Yep.
fighting game, it's platform fighting games, so that's why you have movement and fighting.
Hmm.
And if you combine these two correctly, you can basically defeat any foes without any like problem.
Hmm.
But when you like don't exactly know the enemies, it can be really hard to like dodge their attacks, and yeah, you basically die over and over again, which this game and a lot of games that I play is all about. It's like just to fight, die, learn, repeat.
The way you described it sounds that you don't want to play it.
I want to play it. I'm actually playing a harder version of it, where all of these items and well, basically spells are just randomized all over the place. So basically, it's just harder version.
Mm. Yeah. Okay then. So this is up. As far as I know, I have seen the game. I haven't played it. I have seen it though. I think it's a platformer, right? It's a
Yeah,
platformer.
platform fighting game
Hmm.
and
So
also
just to
exploration.
explain to you guys, platformer is a type of game. It's like a genre, right?
Yeah,
This is how it's spelled, and you basically have a platform, and you just have to jump from one platform to another, and you usually like avoid some obstacles, and there's a lot of jumping involved. Often you're attacked by enemies, but it's like 2D. It's not 3D, right? It's 2D.
yeah.
Mm. Do you know any more famous platformers? I know quite a few. I think it was one of the first games, really,
Yeah.
platformers, right, that were made in history of PC games and video games. So I know quite a few. Um, do you want to give us some more examples of recent platformers, Matthias? A recent popular platformers?
Recent.
Hmm.
Well, there is. I don't think there is like the recent platformer game that I played.
How about Ori and the Blind Forest?
Oh, Ori and the Blind Forest. That was like extremely good game.
Yep.
And I also have every single edition. I completed both games, and it's it's so you wouldn't even think it was a game at first because
Yep.
the graphics and the lighting. In the second game, I'm not sure if you played it, Zdenek. It's like
I played the expansion as well, but I haven't finished it. I just Because I think I played it at the time that I was in the UK, when I had COVID, and then I came back here, and I just don't know, something happened, and I stopped playing it. I have to get back to it.
yeah.
I also find that I seem to have enjoyed the original game more than the expansion. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but
Um, the with the expansion, you mean the Will of
the
the Wisp?
the the will of the wisp, right? The will of the wisp,
With wisps,
wisps. Mm.
yeah. There you actually have weapons to fight with. In the first one, you had like more about these puzzles and platformers,
Hmm.
and so you have to like get used to the fighting thing type. And yeah,
Yep.
I think the second one also has a lot of puzzles, a lot of story added to it.
I
Also,
think
the
both these games are rich in stories, right?
yeah.
Both the Hollow Knight as well as Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yeah, and the best thing,
Mm.
well, the thing that you notice is that your character does not really talk. So people are just talking to, like explaining,
Yep.
and yeah,
You just make those kind of like sounds, right?
well, sounds yes, but you also have text that shows up on screen that you can read.
Yeah. Well, the story is very rich, and it's kind of, I would say, almost heartbreaking at some. It
Yeah,
gives you this sense of like sadness, which is interesting. But it's
Yeah.
very strong. It's very strong. Very
Not sure
beautiful.
if not sure if you like finished the Will of the Wisps, the second game. I nearly cried at the end.
Don't tell me. Well, it was. I can imagine because that the authors they always go for this story
Yeah.
that sort of heart wrenching story, right? Um, I don't know how they do it because it's just a game, but it's very strong. It triggers very strong emotions in people.
Yeah, because you get accustomed to the character and you start to like it, and then
Yeah,
just some bad thing
yeah.
happens and you're sad for it.
Hmm.
And the difference between Hollow Knight and Ori in the Blind Forest, Ori will bring you the emotion of sadness, while Hollow Knight, when you like finish the game, depending for what ending you go to, because there are
Hmm.
multiple endings, it always brings you the emotion of satisfaction
Okay.
because you basically beat one of the hardest bosses in the game,
Yep.
and you just feel like you done something.
Yeah. That's a sign of a very good game, right? If
Yeah,
that's how it makes you feel. Yeah, guys, if those of you who have joined late, we are talking about video games today. Yeah, so good to see you here, Helen, as always, and
and
Vault
Vault.
379 as well. We're talking about video games, so please let us know what your favorite video games are. Matthias has just told us that one of his favorite games is the Hollow Knight, and went on to talk about Ori and the Blind Forest because it's a similar type of game. I haven't played the Hollow Knight, but I have to say I quite liked Ori and the Blind Forest. I thought it was very story rich, very original, unique graphics, a beautiful game. I have to say, very good game, story driven game. Yeah. You said Matthias, you have got one more favorite game. So what is it then?
One more that I play with friends, which is Civilization 6, I believe.
Hmm?
And in this game, you basically have it's basically a strategy game,
Yeah.
and you go around with your people, building
Yeah.
cities, and then either fighting people, other
Mm,
people to get the dominance ending. Then you have the religious ending when you convert all the people to your religion, just like with Christianity.
yeah.
And then you have the culture ending, which I'm just good at. Basically, you need to have a lot of these wonders. Like you can build Eiffel Towers. Well, only one because it's just special, and or you can build Chinese walls and or
You
create.
say it like as if so there are more of these wonders in the game, more Eiffel Towers in the same game.
There is only one, but you can build. Well, basically, you can just raise other people to get it, and when one finishes it first, and they get it, and the other one just has to like destroy it and go
Mm,
building another thing. You also have these great works of art, like Michelangelo statue,
yeah.
and a lot of paintings, also music.
Mm.
And when you combine this, you have a lot of tourism, tourism.
I don't know. Is this relevant? Tourism. We talk about tourism when you basically tourism of a country, like when people go to a
Yeah,
country
basically
to
you have
travel
that, and
to
these
do
things that you
sightseeing.
build are basically that, and people come to you to see
Ah.
these things.
Right. So it's like economy. I see. So it's like there's some kind of economy in the game as well,
Yeah,
and that's one of
and
the possible paths to victory.
I know. And the last one is through science, where you basically create a colony on the Mars.
Colony on Mars.
Yeah, and when you do that, you basically win.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I'm not sure you sold it to me. To be honest with you, it sounds a bit
yeah. It's more of a
complicated.
game with your friends to like see what you can do, how you can mess with it. I
Mhm.
basically just found already the three ways to break the game, so that's fun.
When you say break the game, what do you mean by breaking the game?
Basically, I played the way that it was not intended,
Mhm. And
and
and y- and
it
you
freaks out.
And that means that the game is easier for you if you do that, right?
Not always. Sometimes it's like it's either easier or
Hmm.
the game just doesn't know what to do. So in that scenario, what always happens is like the bug stays, and then it continues going. Like in the culture victory, if you continue with the game
Yeah.
because you already won and you want to continue,
Mm.
the bar that shows how much close you are to the victory, it just goes on. So it normally would end here, but you can manage to go to here, and basically it goes through entire screen.
Basically, guys, this is also called cheating. What Matthius is doing.
No, no, that's not cheating. That's what happens when you continue a game when you shouldn't. It's it's only a visual bug.
So it's not cheating; it's just breaking the game.
Yeah, and it also messes with other people because it goes through their screen, and it's funny.
Maybe that's why you like this game so much. Maybe that's why you want to play it so much.
Yeah, it's funny game to play with friends, and the more you break it, the more fun it just
Yeah.
is.
Sometimes there is fun, guys, in doing things in the wrong way, as you
Yeah.
can see. Yeah. All right then. Okay. So you guys tell us about your favorite video games and your favorite PC games. I'm sure that some of you at least watching this have your favorite PC games. Let us know in the chat. I'm really curious to find out. I'm sure so is Matthews.
Yeah.
Matthews, this is my next question for you. This was a long question. We will probably not be able to answer all of those that I've prepared, but that doesn't matter. Do you remember the first PC game you have ever played or video game?
All right. So the first one that I played
Yeah.
was, I think, Plants vs Zombies on computer. Yeah. Not sure if you heard of Plants vs Zombies.
I
It's
have,
like
yeah.
iconic.
It's like a tower defense game, isn't it? In a
Yes,
way.
I think.
It's instead like you don't have towers, you have plants that defend the what are you trying to defend? The field
Uh,
or
your house, your brain from zombies.
your own brain? You're defending your own brain from zombies and the plants they help
Protect
you.
you.
How do they protect you? So they fire some
They
bullets.
fire a piece,
The what?
P, P, like the
Oh,
plant.
peas.
Yeah,
Peas.
at zombies, and their head just falls off. Also, this is one of the plants that you can plant. The main one is sunflower, which gives you sun, which helps you grow other plants to defend you. And one of the most iconic ones is
Yeah.
kernel pult, which basically just either lobs these small kernels, which don't
What
do
does
any
it do?
damage.
Sorry, what does
It
it do?
lobs, it lobs kernels,
Lobs.
yeah,
It goes over.
lobs,
Yeah,
yeah,
lobs.
kernels at zombies, and sometimes it has a chance to throw a butter
Butter.
at, yeah, at at the zombie, and it just stuns it for a few seconds.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Butter stunning a zombie. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you can upgrade this plant to massive cob cannon, which basically once every like minute you can launch this extremely well. Basically, you launch a nuke at target location, and basically just kills everything near.
Yeah. All right, Matheus. By the way, guys, I'm making notes. If there's any interesting language or any mistakes, I'm trying to make notes so that we can talk about this later, as usual. And Mr. Bolt 379 says my favorite game is how do you pronounce this? PUBG.
PUBG.
PUBG. It's like Hunger Games. I think you mean Hunger Games game. Like it's like a Hunger Games game, and it is fun to play with friends together. So it's more like I think there is a term for it, battle royale, right?
Yeah,
Battle royale kind of game. It's like there's another game, Fortnite, that's very popular, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Do you know this game, Matheus?
Yes, I do know. I never played it, but I don't intend to because I don't like these types of games.
Why not?
Well, firstly, you need to basically, it's mostly about luck and also about skill. Firstly, because you need to find your weapons that you are good with, and then you
Okay.
just need to hope that you don't find like these cheaters that like shoot you through walls.
Can you shoot people through walls?
Sometimes,
Okay.
or
Yeah, I
just
mean,
across the map.
I understand the appeal of these games though, because it's kind of
Yeah,
suspenseful. If you want to be the last man standing, and that is elimination. So that's why people love watching the Hunger Games, because there is the suspense. That's why people like the Squid Game as well, because there's a suspense. You never know who's going to survive.
yeah.
Okay, well, the first PC game I have ever played is called The Prince of Persia. I don't know if you have seen it, Matthias,
I think I actually have a CD around.
but that's an old game,
Yeah,
Prince of Persia. So I have to say, I wonder if it was. Uh, no, I think it's without the. It's just Prince of Persia. Okay, don't know why. Don't ask me why, but that's how it is. So Prince of Persia. It's again, it's a platformer. Yeah. So um, yeah, just have fond memories of playing that game. Really, like everything
yeah,
comes back to me because that was the first game I have ever played, and you just don't forget that. You just simply don't forget that because that's when you discover the whole world of video games, and it's just such a unique thing that it's like your first time, in any other activity in your life. Imagine
yeah,
that. That's always like something unique, something you will never forget, right? So it's the same with this game for me. And I enjoyed it quite a bit, I have to say. Occasionally, I still watch some videos on YouTube. Not really, but I may have seen one where someone was playing it, and nostalgia kicked in, and um, I watched a bit of that video. And Walt's first game was GTA San Andreas. I have played that game. Again, it's a fantastic game, of course.
yeah.
A bit violent at times, but I think it's great anyway. Yeah. Considering I don't like cars, I love this game. All right, let's move on. So, my next question for you, Matthews, is if you had the resources and skills to create your own game, what would you make? I'm just going to put it
All
on the screen.
right. I'm just going to cut this because I actually have like this entire like page of what I want to do. I actually want to like learn programming to actually make the video game.
Yeah.
So
So it
this
is a question for you. It's a good
yeah.
question for you, actually.
So it is about a game where you have like these pixelated graphics and you will basically play cards to like beat enemies.
You play
And
what?
you play cards that have like
Cards.
different
Okay,
cards.
cards.
It's card battler, deck building card battler,
Hmm.
which is one of the genres that I really like.
Yeah.
Apart from the roguelike elements and the dungeon crawler, and
Dungeon
then
crawler,
you know
craw-
crawler,
crawler. Hmm.
and then basically in the settings I would like to have this random button that makes the game in like these ultra realistic graphic, and then instead of card battler you have this fps first person shooter.
All right. Well, I understood only half of what you just said, but that doesn't matter because I'm sure some people watching this will know what we are talking about. But that's the kind of game Matthews would like to make. All right. Let's move on. What is the weirdest game you have ever played? What is the weirdest game, Matthews?
All right, So this is interesting. I'm just going to go into my Steam library because I think I
Yeah.
have one or two here. So um, where was it?
If people are watching us, you can also write down your answer for us. What's the weirdest game you've ever played? Weirdest, it means the strangest, the most peculiar one, the oddest one.
Not sure if I have it here. Um,
Um,
well, let me ask you a question. What classifies as a weird game?
I don't know. You choose your own criteria, Matthius.
All right. So you always have like these weird mechanics in the game that could make it weird, or probably the weirdest game that I have ever played was Getting Over It.
Okay.
Not sure if you heard of that game.
Can you please repeat it?
Getting Over It.
What's the second word you are saying? Can you spell it for me?
Getting over something.
Mm.
It.
Getting over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matthius, you need to pronounce it with a link because for me it was difficult to understand what you were saying.
Yeah.
Getting over with, sorry, getting over it. So
Yeah.
there is two things. Yeah, one, you have to stress the word over because it's a phrasal verb to
All
get
right.
over something, and the second part of a phrasal verb, it's called the particle, is usually stressed. So to get over something. So you have to say getting over it, and then also you have to combine the final. Actually, it's more complicated than that. The particle over, it ends with a schwa sound, which is a vowel sound, and then the next word it starts with a vowel sound, and then because you have two vowel sounds next to each other, you need to put extra r sound to make it sound smoother, to make it sound more natural. So instead of saying getting over it, you want to say getting over it. Oh, getting over it. Try it.
Getting over it.
You seemed a bit stressed when you say getting
Yeah.
over
G-
it, over
Getting
it,
over it.
over it. That's it. Getting over it. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry. It's like a bit like a pronunciation tip for um, geeks, for nerds. I'm actually planning, guys. If any of you are watching this, I'm actually planning to make a pronunciation course. It will be a paid pronunciation course where you will learn all these little things about all these aspects of pronunciation, stress and sounds, and these linking. It's like very advanced. So I hope some of you might be interested in it. You will definitely hear from me soon about this course. Okay, so that's the weirdest game then. Getting over it.
Yeah.
Okay then. And then my weirdest game, I can't remember the name, Matthews. It's like a colony building game. You're like on a different planet. It's a randomized terrain. It's pixelated art. Um, I can't. It was such a popular game. Like it got like 9 or 10 out of 10. A lot of people like loved it, and it got almost like a cult following. Do you remember the name of the game? And you had like you're sort of like shipwrecked. Your spaceship ended up on this planet. Like it crashed on this unexplored land, and there were animals you could hunt. You could build. You could like harvest different materials, and then you would build your house from it, and you would look after your colonists. And it's like
Rimworld.
Rimworld. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's a really
Rimworld
good game. I would
world.
probably go and play it if I could,
But for me,
because
this was really weird. Rimworld. I think it was interesting for sure, but I couldn't really get into it. I have to say, like, I respect whoever made that game. It was kind of cool. It was cool, but I couldn't completely get into it
Yeah,
because of the artwork.
yeah. You just don't really like pixelated.
Not into it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
The thing with Rimworld is I actually watch some people that do like really weird stuff, and one of them was to like build an organization or organ like uh,
Americans say organization. British people say organization.
or,
Organization.
organize
O-
God, organ
Organization or
organization.
organization. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, in that like playthrough, which is it called, it's about getting prisoners and then cutting them open to like take their lungs and other things, and then selling it, and then basically
Sounds like
building an empire on it.
organ harvesting to me, Matthias.
Yeah, yes, that's basically organ harvesting organization.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun, everyone.
Yeah,
Brace
basically,
yourself. Brace yourselves if you are squeamish, though.
yeah. It's basically one of those games that you basically have to like think about what is fun and then doing it.
Mm. And then do it.
And then do it.
Yeah. You have to think about what is fun and then not doing it, but then do it.
Do it.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I'm gonna ask you one last question. I think this is well. You know what? I like this question the most. I'm gonna ask you this question. This is the last question I think I'll ask you today. What makes a good game?
I'm just going to say it quickly. It's replayability. Basically, a game that you can play a lot of times that,
Yeah.
and it doesn't make you like, how do I say this?
You don't feel like there is less value in playing the
In
game again. If
yeah,
anything, you enjoy it even more if you play it over and over again, and each
yeah,
game is different. You never play the same game. Like you never feel like you're playing the same game twice, if that makes any sense.
yeah,
Even though you in fact you are playing the same game, but you know what I mean? Like different things happen in the game.
yeah. That's why I like roguelikes and roguelites more because in that game you basically with each run, you basically die at the end, and then you rebirth, and with more better statistics, better weapons, and rebirth. Rebirth? No, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Basically, you make yourself better for more of dying, which
You say
where
then you
the
you die and then you
reb, reb, then you resurrect.
yeah resurrect. I think is correct.
Yeah, better.
Yeah. I think you would have to say then you are reborn. I think.
Yeah,
I don't think you can say you reborn. No,
yeah.
it's like past participle. Okay,
And that's
cool.
where the slogan fight, die, learn, repeat comes from.
I see. I see. You know, for me, it's like combination of good graphics, good story, and replayability. Totally. Like I couldn't agree more with you. That's a big factor. But sometimes I feel it's something that I'm actually afraid of because I used to play some games and I was addicted to them because of this because of
Yeah,
this very aspect. And I think it's for me it's dangerous. I don't want to be addicted to a game. You know, I become like the game's slave, kind of the slave of the game, and I don't want that. So while I
yeah,
totally understand where you're coming from and I agree with you, it could become a problem because then you sort of this game this is the only thing you do and all you
yeah,
can think about is the game, and maybe it's better to play a different game where you sort of explore something new. And I feel like once you keep playing the same game it becomes more mechanical and about automatisms and not really about um skills. It's more about like like doing everything mechanically.
yeah.
And
Basically, trying to learn every single aspect of the game.
yeah,
But I actually have a few games that I actually completed like fully when there is no more to unlock, and then I just kinda uninstalled it. And sometimes when I like to play it like once or twice, then I just go and play it, and then I
yeah.
get bored of it because I don't have anything more to unlock. So I
I
basically, unless I have like everything unlocked in the game, I basically
mm,
play it, and then when I have everything unlocked, I basically just either play it again when I have like the taste for it,
yeah.
and yeah, or I don't really play it that often. Like with Ori and the Blind Forest, I completed both the games, like I think fully, and now unless I am like feeling for having a challenge, I'm not going to play it.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, personally, I have a few games that I like to come back to. One of them is XCOM.
Yeah.
So maybe I haven't played the game and I want to play it again like after 2 or 3 years, and I want to play the whole thing again. Or unfortunately, there is another game which I tend to get addicted to, and that's called They Are Billions. So I have moments where I know, like, I want to install the game and start playing it because I'm like, what do I want to play? There's nothing. There's nothing new. No new good games, or the games that I've recently bought are not good enough, or just bore me. So I'm like, I kind of miss Their Billions, which is like a game, like a kind of
Yeah.
base building, resource management, tower defense kind of game. And this game is just better than any other strategy game that I've recently played. So I'm like, I want to play that again. But I know the moment I install it, I will not just play once. That's the problem, yeah. So I try to avoid it.
Yeah. That's why I have like few games installed that I know that I will play sometimes,
Yeah.
and I basically just cycle through them. I don't play one game. I play like six at the time, and just basically go.
Six at the same time.
Well, you know what I mean. I basically have six games that I play in order. When I get bored of one, I go to another, and then I come back to the one that I like to play. And
Yeah.
basically, it's not boring because we are playing always different game, and also you don't get addicted to it because you are not playing it always.
Hmm. Makes sense. Okay, I think it's time for us to look at some feedback.
Yeah, I know that is going to be a lot.
I mean, that's a good thing because there is a lot we can learn.
Yeah.
And I forgot about
Oh
doing
god.
this. Okay, so Matthius, one thing that I would like you to know is the way you pronounce specific sound is wrong. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's here, it's not here, but it's almost in all of these words. So do you know how you should pronounce these words?
So well, where?
So go on.
One more harder version.
This you know what? I'm gonna remove this.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be here even.
All right.
Go
The
on.
will of the wisps. Wondrous. Way. Want. Weird. Word.
Okay. So sometimes you get it right, but sometimes you don't. So whenever, listen to me, Matheus, yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever there is W as a letter in spelling in English, we have it here, we have it here, we have two of them here, we have some more there. There's just it's not here. Yeah, this one is a bit different. It's like the odd one out. Whenever you have W as a letter, you have to pronounce it with the W sound, not the. There are two
What?
different sounds in
Yeah.
English, W and the. So the way you pronounce this W sound is you have to round your lips, like as if you are
Yeah.
trying to kiss someone. You round your lips and then you make the sound well. Because if you don't round your lips, you cannot make that sound. You're gonna end up saying vel. Vel is like you're kind of smiling more if you say vel.
Yeah.
Vel would be like the way some people pronounce it because they don't have this sound in their first language. For example, Germans, they tend to pronounce it as well as well. Okay.
Uh,
Do you have this sound in Slovakian, which is your first language?
well, it's kinda. It's more like to v, like the standard one. It's like really close.
Okay. Right. So repeat after me. Yeah. Well,
Well,
where,
where
the will of the wisps.
the will, the will,
Not will,
yeah, will, the will of
not
the will,
the will. You have to round your lips. The
and
will
will
hmm,
of the
of the wisps. Wisps.
wisp,
Not visps, wisps.
wisps.
You just have to. I know it's difficult because you have always been pronouncing it in this kind of way.
Yeah,
So you have to just start focusing on it more. Whenever there's the
yeah,
W sound, and it's kind of easy to notice, right? It's kind of a specifically, distinctly looking letter.
yeah.
Wonders,
Wonders,
way,
way,
want,
want,
weird,
weird,
not weird,
weird,
weird.
weird.
Just you have to mechanically make that
Yeah, weird.
make that. You have to round your lips. Make
Yeah,
put them in a in a circular
weird,
position. Weird,
weird,
better.
weird. Yeah,
Weird. Now this is world,
word, word,
not word. World.
word,
There's a sound. So world.
word.
Yeah, you're struggling with this one as
Yeah,
well. World. And then surprisingly, there's no W as a letter, but this is also pronounced as W.
one
Not
more,
van, not van, not van, but
one,
one. So you have to say one more.
one more.
Exactly. So here you also have the W sound. Okay. Um, the same with this word. Once.
Once.
Yes. hmm Okay. So you were talking about a game, Hollow Knight, the Hollow Knight, and you said it nearly didn't go out. I think you want to say not go out, but
It nearly didn't publish.
didn't get published.
Didn't get
Get
published.
published. I think you want to say come out.
Yeah.
Come out or get released, or did it nearly didn't get published, or it didn't come out. I think come out is better. Then there's the word continuum, which is like how do we describe the word continuum? Something that doesn't stop, right? Let me find the definition of this word. A continuous sequence in which adjacent elements are not. That's a complicated definition. Okay, something that changes in character gradually or in very slight stages without any clear dividing points. I think.
I
Okay,
think
an
I
example.
can.
Yeah, it's not a left wing or right wing. Political opinion is a long continuum, right? So it goes
Yeah.
from left to right. So it's not like black and white. It's not like everybody is left and everybody is right. There are people in the middle on the continuum. There are people in a different position on the continuum. It's like a line without clear dividing parts. That's what the word continuum means. But you wanted to talk about like something that followed Hollow Knight, like a second part. What's the word we are looking for here? Not continuum, but
I think I know this word word
word.
word, but I don't know, just remember
Okay,
what it is.
I think it's con- continuation. Continuation.
Yeah, that one.
Um, I don't know. It could also be just a sequel. You could say just a
Yeah.
sequel, or I don't know what else. What do you say? Continuation here. Hmm. Not sure this is the best word. I would just use the word sequel. It's a
All right.
sequel. It's like another part of something. Sequel. All right. You can defeat any foes without any problems. I really like the word you use here. Can you explain to us what it means?
It means like an enemy
Okay.
or
So,
enemies.
yeah. Well, this here it's in plural. So foe,
Yeah,
and the plural is
enemies.
foes. So a foe is an enemy, and foes are enemies. Okay. Now, Matthius, focus on pronouncing the first word correctly.
Both games.
So what you are doing is you are
Yeah,
saying this word instead.
yeah.
Not both, but both.
Both,
Both.
both,
Both.
both,
Better. That's better. Both.
both.
It's
All right.
like imagine you are saying s, but you put your tongue on your upper teeth. Both. Like imagine s. It's hard to explain. Both. Anyway, you get accustomed to the character and you start to like it. I like this. Phrase. You get accustomed to a character. What does it mean? You get accustomed to someone.
It means like you start to like you can say you start to like the character.
Yeah,
It's
to get accustomed to something means like to get used to
to
something.
or get close to something.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you could say you get very close to the character, or you start identifying with the character, or the character is very relatable, something like that. Okay, now, how do you pronounce this word?
Sadness.
That's very good. Yeah, you've corrected yourself. And this one?
Sad.
Sad. So you have to open
Sad.
your mouth more. Not said,
Yeah.
sad.
Sad.
Sadness. Sad.
Yeah.
Ah, it's a long ah vowel. Okay. What was wrong with this one? I think yeah, that was like a little mistake. I think you don't say the Mars.
I think you just say on Mars. Yeah.
I think you just say on Mars. Yeah, exactly. I think planets are without the. I think so. Okay. How would you pronounce this segment?
Convert people to your religion.
Convert. Yeah. So the stress is on
Convert.
vert.
Yeah.
Convert, not convert, but
Yeah.
convert. What about this word? Where is the stress?
Um, I think I think it's religion.
Religion. Li only.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now this was something I didn't understand what you were saying here, because
Yeah.
you need to focus on how you pronounce this word. So they fire
Peace.
peas. Yeah, that's
Peace.
so a p, and because it's a plural s, it has to be z sound, because uh,
All right.
it follows a vowel sound. So peas,
Peace. All right.
peas. It otherwise you are saying the word peace, peace, which is like this. Wait, peace, like this, right? Like
Yeah.
the opposite of war. Or you could be saying this word, peace. Of course, then there is the word piss, but we're not talking about that. Okay. Now this one also, you have to be careful how you pronounce this word, Matthius.
You can launch a
Not
nuke.
lounge, not lounge. Lounge would be a different word. Lounge
Yeah.
is this. Lounge. This is a lounge.
All right.
You have to pronounce it as launch,
Launch.
launch, or launch.
Launch.
That's it. Yeah.
All right.
Also,
Launch.
there's the word lunch, launch, and lounge. All right. How do you pronounce this? This
You
little
play
segment.
cards.
Cards, cards,
Cards.
long R. How do you pronounce this? Sorry. Dungeon.
Dungeon crawler.
No.
Dungeon crawler.
Crawler.
Yeah.
Sorry, crawler. Yeah, look. Crawl, crawl. Yeah, I'm just checking it. To crawl. Yeah.
Yeah.
So crawler, dungeon crawl. It's difficult for me to say too. Dungeon crawler, dungeon claw,
Dungeon crawler.
dungeon crawler, crawler. You know why it's difficult? Because it's difficult because the sounds r and l are sometimes difficult when you say them together. Crawler, crawler, crawler.
Crawler.
Yeah, dungeon crawler. Okay. This is the word to crawl. It's like a verb to crawl. Right. The next one.
Weird mechanics.
Not
Yeah, weird
weird.
mechanics.
Not weird. Remember
Yeah.
this, Matthias.
Yeah. Weird.
Weird. Weird.
Weird.
What? Weird.
Weird mechanic.
Not mechanics.
Mechanics.
Did you know that h sound doesn't exist in English?
Yeah.
They have it in Arabic, they have it in Dutch, and we have it in, I think you have it in Slovakian too,
Yeah.
right? We have it in Czech as well. But in English, it does not exist.
Yeah,
So you have to say
it's uh,
mechanics. Exactly. Mechanics.
weird mechanics. Yeah.
Weird mechanics. Okay. How about this one?
Organization.
Okay. That's one possible pronunciation. And then British people say organization.
Organization.
Organization. So that the stress is here on they. Organization. How do you pronounce this?
Played through.
Not true. True is
Yeah.
this.
Played. Yeah.
True, false. Through.
Played through.
Not true. Again, your tongue has to touch your upper teeth when you make this sound. When you have th in English, through.
Played through.
Not true.
Through.
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 Through. Can you say three? Three.
3.
No. So it's a problem of, you have a problem with this cluster, this pronunciation cluster, thr. It causes you problems. Yeah, so you should practice words like 33, through, thorough. What else? Wrong. Thrown. All these words have th and r,
Yeah.
and that's what causes you the problem. Not this one though. No, this is thorough. Okay, no, this one doesn't count. All right. What about the next one?
Replayability.
Replayability. Replayability. The stress is on B.
Replayability.
Replayability. And you die and then you reborn. So
And then you are reborn.
okay, or then you resurrect, or then you are born again. You could say, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Matthias, I think that will be it. I'll quickly check if we have got some comments from our viewers, but I don't see any. But the good news is there are people watching, because I can see the number of people watching, so that's always good news. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope, as always, the feedback was useful for you, because we can always learn from each other's mistakes as well. Yeah, it's not useful just for Matthews, but I'm sure there are more people that might make similar mistakes. So we often share our
Suffering.
sorry, suffering.
Suffering.
Yeah. Now maybe this will make you feel better that you are not alone in this, right? Thanks for this lesson. You're very welcome, Walt. Vault or Walt? Vault.
Walt. Yeah.
Because Walt, that would be like Walt from Walter White, yeah? From Breaking Bad, Walt. But his name is Vault. Yeah. Okay, guys, take care, everyone, and well, I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah.
Cheers. See you,
Cheers.
Matthius.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye.